So, like, do you guys have any anime figures in here by any chance? 英語わかんねえ。ねえ、鈴木さん。英語わかる？わからないです。No English. Sorry for that terrible skit. Let's jump into the video. Today is actually your lucky day. By clicking on this video, you've just decided to receive the best advice about Japan that you will ever get in your entire life. I will tell you exactly what you need and where to go in order to have the best and most stress-free trip you will ever have in Japan. You've watched Naruto and Demon Slayer, and now you think you're a true Japanese master. Cool. And now you're starting to think about, you know what, maybe I am good enough at Japanese to go to Japan. You've learned your nani? I can't. You've learned your nani and Nihongo Jozu. So now you're thinking about coming to Japan. Maybe you've already even booked your tickets. Literally doesn't matter. Listen up to what I have to say. Section 1. Airport. Now a lot of people kind of skip this step when they think about going to Japan. They think it's just, oh, natural. Okay, cool. But no, it's not. Let me give you that good advice. This is very important. First of all, there are two big airports in Tokyo. The first one is more known, which is Narita. The second is not as known. It's called Haneda. You're going to want to try to fly to Haneda if you can. Narita is way over here, where Haneda is right there in the middle of the city. If there are no options to go to Haneda, or it's just too expensive, then just go to Narita and keep listening. Next, buy a SIM card or some sort of pocket Wi-Fi or something. Either buy a SIM card or buy a pocket Wi-Fi like this one. This is actually the one that I had when I went to Japan. I've had a pretty good experience with a company called Mobile. I will put the link in the description. Not sponsored. I just had a good experience with them. But Mobile, if you want to sponsor me, reach out. You know, we could do something. Honestly, if you're not really planning on doing any texting, a pocket Wi-Fi will work better. Just kind of go with what's cheaper, to be honest. And when you order the SIM card or pocket Wi-Fi, order it before you go to Japan. Please order it before you go to Japan. I'm begging you, or else you will end up like me. If you don't order it before you go, that's okay. Just get it in the airport. Get it in the airport, because if you don't get it in the airport, you're gonna have a really hard time, which I will talk about in a few seconds. So if you're too lazy to do either of those, then this is what will happen. And you're so lucky you clicked on this video. And you're going to want to save it now, because when you don't have Wi-Fi in Japan, you're going to need to look back at this video in order to find out where to get your SIM card if you do go with mobile. Don't worry, because you can actually get your SIM card somewhere outside of the airport. So you're going to want to go to Shibuya Station. Once you're in Shibuya Station, just simply go in that entrance, go to the 4th floor, past the Starbucks, walk all the way down the hallway, and it'll be on your left in the shop on your screen. I really hope no one has to use this, but I really could have used this. Now I'm going to tell you some, vocabulary that you could use at the airport. A lot of vocabulary is actually kind of in English. It's called gairaigo, which means foreign borrowed word. Here's your vocabulary, either to just impress someone or get you out of a sticky situation. Kuko, airport. Hikouki, airplane. Chiketto, ticket. Passporto, passport. Taxi, taxi. Terminaru, terminal. Visa, visa. Densha, train. And then SIM card, SIM card. You're gonna need these if you don't have Google Translate or any Wi-Fi. And honestly, really one word is enough for a clerk or a worker to understand what you need. So these words can actually come in super clutch if you're in a sticky situation. So write them down, study them. I don't care how, just remember them or have them with you. If you just use any of these words, even if you use some back to back, you will literally get Nihongo Jozu, which means your Japanese is good. Even if it's really not and you just spoke a few words, many Japanese people will actually compliment you, just out of, being polite and respectful, even if they don't really mean it. Because if you can speak fluent Japanese like a native will, then they're not going to tell you, oh, your Japanese is really good. They're just going to act like it's a normal conversation. So it's a little condescending, but please, they really do mean well when they say it. Please don't get offended by it. There's no ill intent there. Now it's time to get into the city. How are you going to do that? Well, here are your main options. You can take the train, either take the Keisei Skyliner or the JR Narita Express. A limousine bus will also cost you about the same, and it's actually easier and more scenic in my opinion. Nicer views from Narita to Tokyo. And just please don't take a taxi, because it'll cost about like $200 American. Again, I'll have all the prices on screen, but taxi is really not the way you want to go. Okay, so now you're in the city. What next? Well, like I said, you came to the right video, because I'm about to give you all the good sauce. Section 2. The city. So hopefully you had an easier time than me to get your SIM card, I would hope. Whether you're staying at a hotel or don't even know what hotel to stay at, hotels are mainly just for keeping your valuables in them and sleeping. You're really not going to be in your hotel room that much, so it doesn't actually matter too much where you stay. But Google Maps will show you where all the hotels are, wherever you go, not just Tokyo, and the prices that come with them. Don't worry if you're afraid to speak to the people at the desk. Sometimes they'll actually speak pretty good English. For example, if you go outside of Tokyo, the odds of running into someone who speaks good English is very low, let alone English at all. But I was actually here in Imabari, which is in the Ehime prefecture, very south. And actually in the hotel, I asked one of the people if having a tattoo was okay, because you might not know, but yeah, I have quite a big tattoo. And they don't let you in the pool, sometimes even the gym, especially onsen, sento, public bath, and hot spring. I actually asked her about it, and she was like, I asked her in Japanese, and she said back in perfect English, hey, like, I don't think you're allowed, but I think it's a really stupid rule, and I've talked to management about it, and they said they'll consider changing it, and that kind of blew my mind a little bit. It was weird, because that's the best English I've ever heard from a worker or employee in my time in Japan. So please do not be afraid to talk to clerks, because they are ready to help you, especially now that Tokyo is more open to tourists. They know that they're going to have to deal with people who can't speak Japanese, so they're ready. And like I said, most hotels do have someone who can speak English to some degree. It's pretty much a gamble. So now is on to the good stuff. This is the stuff that I know you've been waiting for. You're in Tokyo now and you don't really know where to go. It's like, you want to go to Tokyo, but I guess that's about the extent of research you might have done. I've done research on all the broad niches. So now I will present to you the best places to go, in my opinion, in Tokyo. First, we have the people who like the nature, outdoors, hiking, walks. This is very much me. So that's why I have it first. If you don't like that kind of stuff, I have other recommendations for you, so stick around. First is Mount Takao, which is located in Hachioji, which is like very west Tokyo. It's a great mountain, very scenic, a lot of fun to climb. They even have like a ski lift style thing to take you halfway up. That's actually what I did. And some of the most rewarding views at the end as well. If you've watched my first vlog, that's actually where I went. Link in the description, by the way. Next is Showa Memorial Park in Tachikawa, or Tachikawa. I can't vouch for this enough. I know the last two I've mentioned have been very far out of the way, but I promise you they're worth it. You just take the Keio line, or Keio-sen. If you need to ask someone for directions, just say Keio-sen. It has the most beautiful trails of just, scenic flowers and foliage and just overall, vegetation. It costs like $5 or 500 yen, I think, to get in. And I promise you it'll be worth your time. Next is the Asakusa River Cruise. This is in my second vlog. It comes with a lot of different things. Some people might get seasick and whatnot, so take that into consideration, but you can either stay in the comfort of the seats in the lower area, or you can go on the top of the boat where you'll actually have to duck under some bridges. That's how close you get. It was like 45 minutes to an hour long, probably in my top 5 best experiences in Tokyo when I lived there. Just absolutely beautiful views, incredible vibes. I went there alone and I still had such a good time. So if you go there with some friends or family, trust me, they will love it. That's in Asakusa, which is the traditional part of Tokyo. Again, everything will be linked in the description. Next is Shinjuku Gyoen Park or Garden. Incredibly beautiful, right in the middle of the city. So it's very easy if you just want to go there, for a few hours. It's like $5 or $10, I think. Super easy. You don't even need to, speak to anyone. They have kiosks there for you. Pretty much just like Shinjuku Gyoen Park, Yoyogi Park is another one in pretty close proximity as well. You can do both in a day pretty easily, even if you're just walking. Yoyogi Park is really big, has a lot of good features to see. You'll even see like people just practicing in their dance groups, or you'll see people, doing exercise. It's a very lively place, very beautiful, great views. Even has a nice dog park. If you like dogs, you can see a lot of dogs there. Then there's Meiji Jingu, which means Meiji Shrine, or like Meiji Temple. Meiji Temple is right next to Yoyogi Park, so again, you can do that in the same day or even the same trip. I will just let it kind of talk for itself. Beautiful, beautiful place. You can get even some omamori, which means like lucky charms, like a charm that you can buy for people. It's a great gift, honestly. You can look at the video and see for yourself that it's a beautiful place to go. You'll see people in like traditional Japanese kimonos or yukatas, depending on when you're going there, in the summer or not. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I've been there many times. The next place I would recommend for, outdoorsy kind of stuff is to walk around Odaiba. Odaiba is an artificial island in Japan, and it actually hosts, some of the coolest features regarding things like team labs. It's a very modern style place. Great views of the lake, great views of the ocean, great views of the city. Also very close to Tokyo Skytree, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Next is Sensoji, which is like Meiji Jingu, but it's everyone has seen this in Asakusa. It's like Tokyo's oldest still standing temple. I will just let it speak for itself and how beautiful it is. And the last one would have to be Ueno Park. Ueno Park is not as known as the ones I previously mentioned. However, it is still very well known. Ueno Park probably has one of the nicest combinations between urban and nature, I would say. There's not just one path you walk down. There's many different areas you can explore. It's really good for a little day area, many different street performers, many different food stalls, food options. There are also pop-up markets there as well if you want to, kind of go down that route. Overall, you can actually spend an entire day there and still not explore it all. It's also pretty close to Asakusa, which I had mentioned before. I actually did walk there. It took me it's probably about a half an hour walk. Right outside of Ueno Park, there's a little shop that sells lemon sour. It's an alcoholic drink. And I had 2 or 3, and then I walked from Ueno Park to Asakusa / Tokyo Skytree. And I'm not going to lie, I did get a little drunk. Thanks for watching part 1. Part 2 is coming out really soon, but if you're watching this in the future, then go watch part 2 right now. Subscribe for more Japan-based content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.